primarily the institutional investor market.
Yeah.
I actually think that if you, and this is a speculation, that if you got this thing done with just stable coins and you got it regulated, it would increase the value of a lot of different positions I have, including
I'm happy to hear that.
because they would make the assumption, because we're stuck in a 17 to 22 range on Bitcoin, and we're never going to get out of that if we don't get institutional support. It's just going to sit there forever. It's not a bad outcome for miners of scale. They're getting awards at 7 to 8,000. They're trading them at 17 to 20, but it's really getting old. And it's losing its momentum as an idea because it can't seem to get any.
Hello, welcome back again with a new episode of the Bitcoin. Today in this video we're going to be talking about Kevin already price predictions about the Bitcoin, stock markets and the crypto. So watch the video until the end. In this video we're going to be talking about celebrity investors. Kevin already price predictions about the stock market, crypto and the Bitcoins. Kevin O'Leary is bullish on the Bitcoin and the crypto adoptions. How does what? During an interview with the YouTube channels The Money Movement and with the host CEO Circles Jeremy Oliver, the investor stated that if there are regulations for the stablecoins, the Bitcoin will break out of its current range and will trade higher. According to him, I also believe that the one thing just going stablecoins regulations done is the lowest hanging fruit, but it would also signals to the rest of the crypto market, primarily the institutional investors market. During the interview, he also says that getting the supports of the US policymaker could trigger an influx of institutional adoptions and the institutional policymakers into the crypto market, and Bitcoin could be the crash for the somewhere down. Because they would make the assumptions because we're stuck in a $17,000 to the $22,000 range on Bitcoin and we'll never get out of it if we don't get institutional supports. It's just going to set there forever.
Want to play it that way. Everybody knows that too. So you're going to have to calm them down or whatever.
Yeah.
You also, and I'd like you to speak to this because I want the answer. So does everybody else. You got a turf war going on here, and who's going to regulate this? Is it the Fed? Is it the SEC or another agency? Who should regulate? Let's just stay on stablecoin. The one thing that would make sense to go first, because we're not going to save every token here. We're not going to have a blanket bill for everything. Stablecoins could be very useful right now. And who should regulate it?
During an interview with the YouTube channel's Kevin O'Leary, he asked that I think the better way to look at this the lunar crash, the other companies that were lenders that went bankrupt, in a way you should look at the optimistically, because what's happening here. In this last 9 months, we are scouring the patina and we are removing the idiots management team out of the market. He also says that in the interview, the investors in the JP Morgan Chase, as well, I have a lot of respect for him, maybe one of the most successful banking managers in the sector, but the statement that the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency in the Ponzi scheme is totally uninformed and was not helpful at the time. We are trying to regulations to two different bills on the here right now. He also said that when you transfer the US dollars into the Swiss francs to the Zurich exchange, these banks are all values, there is no values created in the ACH transfer fees. If we would saw stable coins in that the regulation that approved by both sides of the transactions, it would be more transparent, much faster. It would definitely more productive about all. I would save millions of the dollars.
Sure. So I think the better way to look at this, I think, is the Luna crash, the other companies that were lenders that went bankrupt. In a way, you should look at that optimistically, because what's happening here in this last 9 months is we're scraping the patina and we're removing the idiot management teams out of the market. All these bankrupt ideas will not come back because they were tested and they didn't work. And that's an important way to build a nascent industry. So it's the litigators will litigate over the assets and the lawyers will sue everybody, and that's okay. I've seen this movie before. The time to be putting capital to work is when there's blood rushing through the streets. And that's happening in crypto right now. All of these bankruptcies, defaults, changes in management, it's a cleansing that's going on. It's a very difficult time to fund new projects, and any valuations that people thought they were going to get 4 months ago are being cut in half, sometimes down 60%. But the good ideas, and the way to look at this in my view, and I'm fortunate. I spent a lot of time teaching graduating cohorts of engineers.
Shark Tank investors Kevin already believes that the crypto market needs the support of the policymakers in order to improve its current situations. Check out Kevin already full statements right now. Justin Kevin already says no choice with the crypto after hot inflation's data. In a test, he indicated that the futures of the crypto and the NFTs is the one area he feels strongly about. Also, the investors have recently made some interesting comments on how the authorities should go about the regulating the crypto market. Earlier on the Thursday, the US Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index data revealed worse than expected results. There was a sharp fall in the crypto prices after the CPI data showed consumer price increased by 0.4% in September. Crypto is still below $20,000, so why have not Kevin already, Edward Snowden and the other celebrity investors give up on it? Celebrity investors Cameron O'Leary is specialist on the bullish. In an interview with the YouTube channel CNBC on the June, he argued that the asset has so much intellectual capacity and the next idea is going to come from the chain community. If you go to any graduating court, during a third of them would want to work in the chain. They didn't want to work in the 11 sectors of the economy. They want something new. The Shark Tank investor said that.
No, I'm actually averaging down on a couple of the big market cap names. I mean, one of the challenges, and this is proof now for why we need legislation and policy on crypto, because if we had institutional capital coming in under the market, if they had allocated 50 basis points or 100 basis points to, let's say, Ethereum or Bitcoin, Solana, Polygon, whatever, you would have had a bid. Instead, because we're basically under-owned by institutions, we have tremendous volatility. And we've seen this before. This is not new. It'll, recover eventually, but this is the nature of crypto unregulated. And so my argument is this really should get us focused on policy. Right after the midterms, I'm hoping for policy on stable coins and then into other assets as well, NFTs, that kind of thing. Now, when you have a very volatile asset and you have the fortitude, I'm going to use that word, to use leverage to enhance your returns, you also run the downside risk of what happens when there's a major correction, as is occurring right now. You can get caught offside pretty quickly. And so Celsius, that's a good example of that. And I don't want this to sound trite, but let me explain how bottoms are made in any market. I don't care if you're in equities or in debt or in crypto or in real estate. You always need a big player to go to zero.
Let's take a look on that tweet. Jenny QT has tweeted that my panel on 10 by 10 take a listen between the first 60 seconds. Obviously, I do believe that Kevin already is absolutely right. If Bitcoin can sustain a strong support at $19,000 while stocks on the Wall Street are going through a volatility swings, we may begin to see a decoupling between the two assets. In a recent interview, the Shark Tank investors Kevin already stated that it would make a sense to regulate the stablecoin first. He also stated that it would not be ideal to have a blanket bill for all types of the cryptocurrencies. He also says that stablecoins can be useful right now. Bitcoin price is showing a signs of recovery after a sharp decline following the inflation data released. Bitcoin stands at $18,900, down 1.08% over the last 24 hours. According to the price taking platforms CoinMarket and CoinDesk and Coinpedia.com. I'm going to be talking about, I'm not your financial advisor. Over all the videos on the channel is only for educational purposes, not trading advice. If you want to invest in the cryptocurrency, especially in the Bitcoin in this crackdown area, so first contact your financial advisor. We shall not responsible for any financial loss occur. So that's it for today. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turning on the red notifications button so you'll never miss any for future fascinating and interesting videos like that one. So don't forget to subscribe to the Bitcoin Thinking.